The photograph appeared on Facebook without warning. Her ex-husband stood beneath an arch of white roses, smiling beside his new wife. Married, 18 months after their divorce. Susan stared at the photograph until her screen went dark. She didn't want him back. That was what confused her. So why did it hurt? Maybe because he looked happy while she still ate dinner alone. Maybe healing felt like a race she was losing. At 60, Susan began volunteering at a community theater. She painted scenery backstage where nobody cared about her divorce. That's where she met Richard. He built sets. Poorly. "You've put that wall on backwards," Susan told him. Richard studied it. "I prefer creatively reversed." She laughed. They became friends. Richard never asked why she wasn't dating. He never tried to become the answer to her loneliness. Then one night after rehearsal, Susan mentioned the wedding photograph. "I hated that it bothered me." Richard continued painting. "Someone else moving forward doesn't mean you're behind." Susan looked at him. Those words followed her home. Weeks later, Richard asked her to dinner. Susan said yes. A year passed. Then one evening, they attended a wedding together. When couples were invited onto the dance floor, Susan hesitated. Richard held out his hand. "No pressure." Susan looked across the room at the newlyweds. Once, weddings reminded her of everything she'd lost. Now Richard was waiting. She took his hand. They danced slowly beneath strings of warm lights. Susan rested her head against his shoulder. Her ex-husband had reached his next chapter before she did. It hadn't mattered. Healing wasn't a race, and love wasn't a prize awarded to whoever recovered first. Sometimes a slower road brought you exactly where you needed to be at exactly the moment you were ready to arrive. Have you ever felt like someone else was moving forward while you were standing still? What helped you realize that healing happens on your timeline, not theirs? Leave your thoughts in the comments.